Let's get to Dan Murphy, who's at the Atlantic Council Global Energy Forum in Dubai. And Dan, a lot of people in the oil industry who sell oil, I don't necessarily believe a word they say, but when Dr. Sultan is talking, I listen because I have a lot of respect for him as well. And I like the line. He's right. Let's be more realistic about the energy transition because a lot of unrealistic approaches have ignored the basic economics of the transition as well. He's right, isn't he?
He's absolutely right, Steve, and I have a lot of respect for him as well. When he speaks, people listen. And of course, yes, he is the CEO of the biggest of big oil, but what he's saying about the energy transition matters here, particularly on a day when we have oil prices down 2.5% on demand concerns out of China. Well, the real story in the oil market is on supply. Dr. Sultan Al Jaber actually saying that the push to divest from hydrocarbons has now met a stark reality. And I wanted to unpack some of the commentary that he's been making at the Atlantic Council Global Energy Forum here in Dubai. He says, we are witnessing firsthand how sensitive energy markets are to geopolitical shocks. He says long-term underinvestment in oil and gas has left markets more exposed to risks of any kind and wherever they take place. But most critically, I think when it comes to his commentary here today, he's also outlined how this dynamic between Russia and Ukraine and the global energy system has played out, saying we cannot unplug from the current energy system before we have built the new one. At the same time, we've also heard from the UAE Energy Minister, His Excellency Suhail Masroui, on the ground here just in the last few minutes. He's also been underlying this investment challenge that we see in the oil and gas space. His address has just wrapped up. He said, the world needs Russian barrels and nobody can replace them right now. And I think that's an important line coming into the OPEC Plus meeting, which is going to be taking place later on in the week. We've been speaking with analysts, including RBC's Halima Croft, on the ground here this morning. Her view is that we will see OPEC Plus continuing to maintain the status quo here, adding 400,000 barrels per day to the market as of next month. No real change. Of course, a lot of the countries within that OPEC group, including the UAE and Saudi Arabia, are disappointed with how this has played out. They're ultimately seeking more security guarantees from the United States before they act to cool this hot market and to support the US and the West in its goals to ultimately bring down prices and increase energy security in Europe. He also said here that he's going to work with OPEC Plus, this is the UAE, to make sure that the market is stable, and they will look at this supply-demand balance in the next meeting taking place at the end of this week. But ultimately as well, also saying that OPEC Plus is not a political organization. It needs to stay united, and that is what they're going to be focused on moving forward. So that is just a taste of some of the commentary that we've heard on the ground here today. No doubt more to come as these conversations continue. It's back over to you.